Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. We're talking tonight Tommy Fury against Jake Paul, or sorry, let me change that round. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Uh, and the question I'm asking has Tommy Fury's career? It's an interesting question to ask because here you are, Tommy Fury, who's happily going on with his career, having his fights with the old man, preparing him, John Fury. But Jake Paul wasn't even on the horizon. Like this team was Sky, it was BT Sports. Obviously, TYSON was on the horizon. TYSON had moved, gone and had that deal with ESPN. Working with Frank Warren and Bob Arum. So in comes Tommy Fury to get a piece of the pie, to get him, be part of the boxing world himself. Tommy Fury is going on about his career, minding his own business, more or less, just trying to learn, having very few amateur fights, and trying to learn his trade on the job, and then still using the name TYSON as his brother to kind of get people interested in him. And of course, John Fury, wherever John Fury goes, he'll tell everyone he's a fighting man and all the rest of it. So, of course, Fury. And of course, the Love Island thing as well. Yeah, some interesting. I didn't watch the show personally, not my kind of thing personally, but I knew he was on the show. He's come out and he's boxed and he's looked okay. He hasn't looked great. He doesn't look like a world beater. And then we had Pretty Boy Anthony was on the show. We were the first to get the interview with him before Tommy Fury fought him. And if you're honest, the guy was, I don't know what. I'm going to touch on that in a second. He goes to America and he puts a performance which, if you're honest, you'd feel pretty embarrassed because he was basically fighting an imp in comparison. A guy who fought his career somewhere down featherweight or something like that, moves up to light heavyweight, and Tommy Fury can't get him out of there. And you're brutally honest, he looked crap in that fight. And you expect Tommy Fury to blow him away. Quite the opposite of Danny Dubois, who put on a devastating performance, knocking out his opponent in America and really set the world alight, despite whoever the opponent was, getting caught himself. Dubois, he made it exciting, and the American fans loved that after watching Tommy Fury's disastrous, and I think it was an absolute disaster in America against a guy who really should knocked out. Now he's coming against Jake Paul. If the excuses were Tommy Fury was nervous, then he's going to be even more nervous in this fight. If it was because he froze on the biggest stage of his career, if he froze then he will probably freeze again. And his brother's getting involved in training as well, so I understand. That's even more pressure. So he can do all the runs he wants. He can do all the fitness drills. He can push all the iron he wants. He can have all the motivational speaks to the world, people speaking to what he wants. But ultimately, it's going to come down to Tommy having to perform on the biggest stage of his career with no experience to back that up. And the last experience he's got to back it up is against that fight he had in America, where he looked dreadful and he froze on the big stage. There's some people, not everybody was born for the big stage. You have to understand that. Not everyone is born for the big stage, and not everyone can perform on the big lights. Tommy Fury might be one of these guys who can perform brilliantly when the lights are not on him. I've known many a guy, not just in boxing, that look brilliant in training, but when it comes down to the big day, cannot perform. That's the flip side. Guys who in training look absolutely dreadful, but come fight night, they turn it on. So for me, Jake Paul had a fight beforehand against Tyron Woodley in a fight that looked odd because when Tyron Woodley caught him with a good shot and he hurt him, I was wondering to myself, why did Tyron Woodley follow through that? Now we find out the NDA and the whole thing about the non-disclosure about the no knockout scores. I can believe that. I can believe it. And I believe also that Jake Paul is learning from other fighters. Jake Paul, the way he's running his career, he's not running his career like a YouTuber. And that's what boxers have to remember. Jake Paul is running his shit. Pardon my French. He's running his shit professionally. He's running his shit more professionally than most professional boxers. I will tell you that now. He's running his professional boxing career more professional than most professional boxers today. He's promoting himself, and he's fighting, and he's entertaining to watch. And I always thought Jake Paul was the better at the two Paul brothers, and he's got a wicked right hand on him, right? And I'll tell you something now, Jake Paul is no joke. Your boxing fans keep going and taking the mickey and taking the piss out of Jake Paul. If you had a clue, right, you've been telling a lot of your fighters that don't know how to promote themselves and making a mockery of the sport. You've been telling them to get themselves to run their careers more like Jake Paul. Yeah, Jake Paul knows how to promote himself. And I said this pre-COVID. Or just as we were going into COVID, about boxers who have this mentality that's down to promoters to promote fights. If you're waiting for your promoter to promote fights, you should be in boxing, as far as I'm concerned, because it's about you. It's about you. It's not about what you promoted. I agree. But you should be able to promote yourself as well. That's why I really had not a lot of time for guys you could do when doing interviews with them. You know they don't want to do the interviews. You don't want to do the interviews. So now, you ain't got contracts now, and I don't feel sorry for you in the slightest, because that's part of your job. And if you can't do interviews, or you're prepared to do interviews, and you're not a big name, and your promoter can't push you, you better get around, start doing interviews, because people need to know about you. That's just how boxing is in 2021, right? You've got to promote yourself. If you don't promote yourself, it doesn't matter if you can punch. You have to promote yourself. You have to have something special about yourself. Why am I tuning to watch this guy? Why am I staying for early morning to watch this guy fight? Why am I going to buy a ticket to watch this guy fight? Why don't I just stay at home and watch it on a private TV? An illegal stream? Why do I have to tell them to watch you fight? You know, it is something that makes people get on a plane and go to see you fight. There's something that makes people get in a hotel to stay overnight or spend the weekend to watch you fight. There's something about that. Are you a fighter that's prepared to do that? If not, then don't complain about ticket sales. Don't complain about not getting much of the pay-per-view revenue because you haven't put the work in. You understand? You have to go the extra mile. So that's my thoughts on that. Is Jake Paul's Tommy Fury's first fight with a winning record? I believe it could be, but I'll tell you something now. He's the first opponent who's going to come and take Tommy Fury's head off for sure. Yes, Jake Paul knows what he's doing. He's playing a smart game, very smart game. He knows Tommy Fury after the last fight. He had his own sparring partner in there working with Tommy Fury, right? Fighting with Tommy Fury. You didn't see the work on that. He was getting information back from Tommy Fury. Okay, how strong is this guy? What's he like physically up close? How can he take a punch? I actually don't think Tommy Fury's durability is that much. I don't think he takes that great a punch. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't think he takes that good a punch. I don't think he's one of those guys that are going to stick around when the going gets tough. I think he'll crack. I really do, but I could be wrong. It's funny how these boxers came out and discussed a Paul in boxing, but in the same tweet, pull them out. That's it. Lazy. That's the thing. Easy like thing. I hope you are. So my thoughts are on this fight that for me, Jake Paul is a heavy favourite coming into the fight. He's fought the better opposition, and I don't want to hear Jake Paul, the YouTuber. I mean, he's training as hard as any boxer in the world today, and he's choosing to get big names to promote himself. So he's been a crossover star, right? Arguably, Jake Paul is as big a star as Anthony Joshua, or even bigger, because he's cracking it in America. Arguably, Joshua may have sold out more seats in England, but Jake Paul's playing better well known than Anthony Joshua. Think about that for a second. I don't think Tony Fury is as rocky as his brothers. No, I don't think so either. I don't believe so either. In spite of what people think, Jake Paul has been in hard sparring, gears up for fights, and it's his life. You can't say that of Tommy Fury, who isn't fully in the game. That's what I've said. I've said it. I just don't think. I think, if anything, Tommy Fury is more of a YouTuber, and Jake Paul's more of a professional boxer. It's not knocking Tommy Fury. Paul's is the biggest star in the league. He'll come in better shape than any of Tommy's last opponents. So people know what it is. People know what it is. Keep in mind, he also featured the great Amanda Serrano and made sure ladies got the great best purse. It was co-main event. Who else is doing that? This is what I'm saying. Stop with the YouTube Jake Paul. The guy's a professional fighter, right? He's more of a professional fighter than KSI, right? A YouTuber, as far as I'm concerned, is a guy that has a fight and then goes back to doing YouTube, right? This guy's putting himself on the line over and over again. So I don't call Jake Paul a YouTuber anymore. He's got my respect. The knockout clause, well, the no knockout clause, good. I don't think he's the only guy. I think he got that no knockout clause from other fighters, but they won't tell you about it. Dubois on the undercard as well. Okay, nice. BT Sports, isn't it? Tommy called Sugar Hill finally, before wasn't his father coaching him? Yeah, but his father can't go to America. We might think about it. We might be getting Serrano Taylor on the Jake Paul card. Who else is giving the ladies boxing their right to shine? I love that fight. I am so in love with Amanda Serrano. I am so in love with that girl. Great fighter. Amanda Serrano, many years ago. In fact, around the same time, I was talking to Michelle Joy Phelps before she turned into boxing. A lot of people don't know that. She was still doing her modeling, and I was talking to her, and I said to her, you know what? She said, I'm thinking of giving boxing a go. I said to her, you know what? You should give it a go. You're a good-looking lady. I'm sure, if you can get to know more about the sport, I'm sure you do well. You see where she's today. So Amanda Serrano, I love Amanda Serrano, bad, really do. I've been trying to talk to Serrano sisters for years. I've been talking to them online and stuff via Twitter. They never quite got the interview. One thing or the other happens, just unfortunate. But I've been talking to them for years, for absolute years. Kate Taylor's fighting on the card of Ben Algerian's Liverpool, same night. Ben fighting Algerian. If anybody wants to sit down and call Chris Algerian a world-class fighter, they need their head down. It's another guy that cannot punch. And they keep on putting pain with guys who can't punch. Because they know the minute they get with a guy that can really hit with a right hand, the playing training is over. Manchester United made it clear, boxing is alive. No boyfriends, no children. She will not have food to until she's done with the sport. They're just Castle nothing. Castle's my favourite, and no one as well. I told people she lost to Taylor, she'd come back. And look how she's come back. 2 babies there. Jessica McCaskill, Amanda Serrano. Oh, let's also give a massive shout out to Pink TYSON, the young lady that I went to deal with when I was in college with her. We got together, went for a lovely meal, did interview live for your BWTM Sports. Now she's training with Floyd Mayweather Senior, and she was also recently took a photograph with Ava Knight. Shout out to the lovely Ava Knight. Gave me some wicked interviews back in the day. Mwah, Ava, love you. You reckon Serrano on pace? Oh, come on, that's not that. The end result, man. Stop it. Amanda Serrano on pace. Do you reckon Canelo's on pace? I asked that question. Stop it. Just stop it. Serrano or Hayes. Keep daring you say that about Amanda Serrano. Ah, listen, anyway. So back to Tommy Fury. The question I'm asking now is this. Has this fight come too early in Tommy Fury's career? And if he gets beat by Jake Paul, the YouTuber, where does Tommy Fury go from here? I personally think it's a fight that should be swerved. It's a fight. It's Tyson's big mouth getting Tommy in trouble. Now, if Tommy gets beat, is Tyson going to resurrect his career for him? Oh, yeah. If he loses, we're going to tie into Tommy. Yeah, that's a lot of good, isn't it? That's a lot of good. Not good. We talk about mental health. That guy looked terrified when he fought in America. He looked terrified, looked petrified. And he's going to go back in the ring. He's going to fight maybe in a bigger arena. Stakes are even higher against a guy who's coming to take his head off. Come on. Much love to you, Ingram. One of the best to ever do it. Even though you never unified, still one of the best finishers. I could finish, my brother. I could finish. If you ever want to know if I could finish, ask Ian Napper, ask Gordon Planks. Oh boy. So I think this fight's come too early in Tommy Fury's career. I think he needed time to rebuild his career a bit more and to really fill out, learn a bit more about the sport before he fought Jake Paul. It's funny I'm saying that, but he's at a crossroads fight in what, 5 or 6 fights in? A crossroads fight. Bad management. Bad management. No. You see Anderson Logan fight? Because if Tommy Fury wins the fight, he was meant to win it. And if he loses the fight, he wasn't very good. See, the people who handle Jake Paul would do a better job of Anthony Joshua than the people that currently handle Anthony Joshua. You could take that to the bank. Ingram, this prime, man like G-Man was smooth like Wilfred Benitez. Don't know about that bit. Don't know about Wilfred Benitez. You know, and Monty Davis both compared me to a young Howard Eastman. I don't know if that's a positive thing or not. I do think they've thrown Tommy Fury in too early. His career could be over before it started. Yep, I believe so too. And with the no knockout ruling, if that's in the case of Tommy Fury, he can get knocked out, but he can't knock out Jake Paul. Isn't that interesting? And I thought the Irish Mafia was supposed to be owned for its slyness. What a strange move. Very strange move. Unless, yes, offering up Tommy as a sacrifice. I don't know. Tommy feeling the pressure on top of it all. I know. Jake Paul might out-hustle him. I can see it happening. I can see Jake Paul hurting him badly as well. I mean, look, the guy he fought was so small, he didn't put a significant dent in that guy. How else is he going to put a significant dent against Jake Paul? Don't see it. And Jake Paul's going to use all the tricks of Jake Paul are very smart, and they're boxing people. And I think there are more people involved in Jake Paul's career than has been let on. And I think there's very smart people maneuvering Jake Paul's career. Very smart. Because the way he talks, the way he moves, the way he markets himself, if that was just a YouTuber coming and doing that shit, couldn't get away with it, couldn't do it. This guy, Jake Paul, is being very well managed, very well oiled, very well oiled. The opponents are selecting are deliberate. The certain type of opponents are selecting. Very deliberate. And I don't think that Tommy Fury is as skilled as Tyron Woodley. I just don't. I just don't think that Tommy Fury is cut from the same cloth. I'm not disputing, I'm not knocking Tommy Fury. It's just from what I see. You can't really put Tyron Woodley in the same room as Tommy Fury, could you? Jake has all the force to go far, a chip on the old shoulder. The people to show the need to show people he means business and a fire of desire to make him train hard. Oh yeah, he was doing a straight WWE promo right there. Of course he was. Yeah, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. The way he's dressed, the way he talks, he knows what he's doing. And he's playing the old 1-2 game. Oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber. Behind closed doors, he's taking hard sparring and he's doing hard training, doing hard craft, and he's researching the opponents. Got nothing but credit for Jake Paul. Nothing but credit. And if Ty Wood is dumb enough to sign a contract that says you can't knock a guy out and then expects to win a fight on points, well, it's not going to happen, is it? I mean, I can't really see Tommy Fury beating Jake Paul on points. Can't see it happening. Think about money-wise, that would be an absolute disaster. I think they're trying to make a lot of money at Jake Paul. I think what they're going to try and do is make Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I think they'll have Logan Paul, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. That's what I can see happening. Bit of money there. He knows how to go viral. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's it. I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but I'm going Jake Paul in this fight. That being said, take my prediction. I'm going Tommy Fury. I'd love to see if Jake Paul can maybe get a McGee on the card for a comeback fight. Get a good start at Cameron. He actually did. He even went at Mayweather and Davis about the domestic abuse past. Yeah, well, he will do. He will do. He will do everything he can to, these guys. If it's the truth, not what you can do. You can't do a person for slander if it's the truth. So, yeah, that's it really. Love to know your opinions on Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. Is this the right time for Tommy Fury to be fighting Jake Paul? Is he ready to fight Jake Paul? Is Jake Paul still a YouTuber? And what defines a YouTube boxer? And does Jake Paul still fall in the category of YouTube? Because if he does, then he's making a mockery of pay-per-view and big fights. That's all from me at BWT Sports. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, smash the like button when you're in the room. Much love to you all. Take care and see you on the next one.